first thing that we will all be doing when Starfield releases on the 1st of September via the Premium Edition is creating our character. The character generation system is so in-depth that you'll be able to make your character look exactly the way you want. And what's more, almost every character that you meet will have been made by the same character generation system. So if you're looking to roleplay your adventure, then you are in luck. Want to make Han Solo? You can. Want to make John Wick? You can. Want to make a retired Asian businessman that walks like a catwalk model? You can. But character creation is just the beginning. You then need to pick a background for your character, which will ultimately lay a foundation for the initial perks and abilities. And so if you really want to spec your character to be an ace pilot or a silver-tongued diplomat, then this is where that journey begins. The Starfield showcase goes through all of this pretty quickly, and there is almost too much information to absorb. But don't fear, because I have done the work for you. I have combed through the showcase frame by frame to bring you the juiciest info in a neat little package. And so without further ado, here is everything we know about backgrounds in Starfield. Backgrounds not only provide some narrative context for each of your playthroughs, but it'll also start you off with some skills too, which we'll get into later in the video. The example they gave in the showcase was that of a Beastmaster background, in which you would have the option to offer your services to hunt a specific creature. Perhaps you could earn a little bit more credits, or maybe just unlock something else. They spend probably less than half a second showing us some of the backgrounds, and they do actually uncover a lot of information. I've screen grabbed each of the teased backgrounds, and the first one we see is the Explorer background. Straight away we can see that we get a little explanation on the peculiarities of this particular background, while showing us 3 starting skills that will serve us well for this type of playstyle. The Explorer background really is for the player that just wants to see what's out there. It's mentioned by the developers that there aren't many explorers left in the Starfield universe, and main quests will have some significant focus on exploration to new and interesting worlds. As for the skills that the Explorer will be able to make use of, I'm personally surprised to see lasers as the first skill. I would have thought an Explorer would steer clear of physical altercations, but at the same time, I can see lasers as some kind of useful burgeoning technology that the Explorers are first to discover and use. Even though it does mention that laser weapons are in widespread use, this particular skill will enhance your capabilities, likely reducing weapon sway, recoil, and perhaps even increase damage or speed up reload speed. The second skill is Astrodynamics, which will suit all of you explorers down to a T. You will have specialised training in this constantly evolving advanced technology of multi-system travel. In other words, you will most likely get access quicker to improved grav drives, which will in turn allow you to travel greater distances. Alternatively, it might simply increase the maximum distance for any grav drive, which would certainly help you as you progress further in the game. The third and final skill of the Explorer is Surveying. A pretty core skill of exploration, if you ask me. I'm pretty confident that this skill will allow you to identify items, glyphs, and artifacts down on the ground without having to return to your ship or some kind of science workstation. This skill could be great for XP farming, with the ability to quickly and efficiently discover all sorts of interesting trinkets on your travels. As for mining for minerals as you seek to upgrade your armor or your ship, you will have built up a healthy database of the best places to go and find what you need. For those of you inclined to low chaos runs in Starfield, or you simply enjoy employing your gift of the gab, the Diplomat background will be just right for you. In an attempt to maintain peace wherever they go, diplomats don't need to point a gun at your head to persuade you. With their silver tongue and business connections, the diplomat can enjoy their life in Starfield without having to worry about danger around the corner. The persuasion skill will no doubt offer alternatives to a full-blown shootout when someone threatens violence. Additionally, it may grant you better prices on purchases, or better yet, convince someone to do your bidding. However you want to employ your persuasive skill, I have no doubt that it will certainly be in your favour. Additionally, the commerce skill is going to keep those credits rolling into your galactic wallet at a steady pace. I would assume that with a small investment, the diplomat can set up a business that essentially runs itself. It's likely you'll have to hire a crewmate in some capacity, but profit will promptly be coming your way regardless. As you travel between the settled systems, you'll be able to expand and potentially upgrade your business, bringing in even more credits. The third skill is one that I wouldn't immediately apply to the diplomat background. But I suppose if you're bringing in as many credits as a diplomat, then it's safe to assume that you can buy what you like. The wellness skill indicates that you live a healthy and active lifestyle with access to good nutrition and exercising. I'm pretty sure this perk is going to allow players to extend the beneficial effects of eating or consuming the many different foods that will be available to be sampled in Starfield. Additionally, this skill also mentions gaining a prolonged life expectancy, which is likely hinting towards a flat health boost to your character, meaning your lifestyle will literally keep you alive longer if you do run into any altercations. The third background that flashes up onto our screen is the cyberneticist, which, as far as I can tell, is the Starfield version of a cyborg, integrating the very best aspects of organic and synthetic life forms into one optimized being. In terms of skills, this sets you up quite broadly to start your adventure proficient in technological, physical, and non-physical situations. The medicine skill highlights that first aid amenities have evolved far beyond gauze and band-aids. Instead, players with the medicine skill will possess the advanced technology to patch themselves up on the fly, and stay alive even in the most dangerous of environments. In terms of gameplay application, we'll likely see a boost to the effectiveness of healing items, and maybe even early access to crafting specifications of some better life-saving equipment. With your cybernetic upgrades, you can integrate your augmentations with the technology around you, and thanks to the security skill, locked doors will be a thing of the past. Whilst thievery may not be a priority as a cyberneticist, the option to explore restricted areas is something that you won't want to be passing up. The third skill is one we've covered in the Explorer background, but I think it's especially fitting for the cyberneticist. Lasers, or more specifically, laser weapons. As half man, half machine, it's only natural that your weapon of choice is a laser. T1000 playthrough, anyone? Of all the backgrounds that we were able to sneak a peek at, this next background is one that pretty much fits my playstyle to a T, the Cyberrunner. The Cyberrunner is the elusive one-man army, capable of toppling the biggest governments and corporations without anyone knowing they were ever even there. Their first skill demonstrates this with the stealth skill. This will be the core skill for Starfield adventurers that want to slip in and out of facilities, base camps and starships without being detected. You can leave a trail of silent destruction by coupling this playstyle with silent weapons, likely dealing double damage at the very least when undetected. Or you could slip in and out before anyone had even the faintest idea that you were on the planet. Just like the cyberneticist, the Cyberrunner will be an expert in dismantling security protocols and gaining access to the most restricted areas. Whilst the Cyberrunner's intentions may be more nefarious, the skill is all the same. If you played Skyrim or Fallout, then this is essentially futuristic lockpicking. Something that goes hand in hand with space age lockpicking is a healthy dose of space age thievery. The theft skill is a reimagining of the pickpocketing skill from Skyrim and Fallout. It may be preferable in some dire situations to quietly relieve characters of certain items as a nifty workaround from killing them or, God forbid, buying it with your hard-earned credits. For Starfield players that are focusing on building an unstoppable crew, you will have the opportunity to be able to play more of a supporting role, so while you send comrades into the fray, you will be able to back them up in the thick of a fight with some much needed medical treatment. This is the Combat Medic. However, the first skill will ensure that you're not completely defenseless should you find yourself alone with your back against the wall, thanks to your pistol certification skill. This means that you'll be starting your Starfield adventure with knowledge of essential firepower. With pistols usually being the first weapons that you'll likely get your hands on, you'll have a much higher chance of survival before you're able to start assembling your epic team of space explorers. The second skill is one that comes as no surprise. The previously mentioned medicine skill will make sure that you can keep yourself and your crew alive for longer, thanks to more extensive knowledge and access to life-saving equipment. It's only natural that as a combat medic, you can fix your friends up on the fly, But thanks to the wellness skill giving you increased health and stamina benefits, you can worry less about yourself, more about your friends in need. The final background features 3 brand new skills that we haven't seen in any of the other backgrounds. It also ties in nicely to a roleplay option and a general playstyle. The chef background ensures that not only will you be able to whip up a tasty meal for yourself and your crew, but you'll be equally as handy with more aggressive applications with kitchen equipment, if you know what I mean. Plus, every chef is always on the lookout for the next magical ingredient to perfect their latest dish, meaning that looting may uncover even greater treasures. The gastronomy skill will allow you to craft more complex dishes that will no doubt provide even greater boost to those that consume them. As a chef, you'll be able to cook up the perfect supper the night before your next daring adventure. The dueling skill will increase your close range deadliness thanks to an imbued efficiency in melee weapons and generally all things sharp. Whilst you'll already be a master of dicing onions, your ability to carve up your enemies comes at a close second. The final skill will be key in uncovering the rarest of ingredients and the most legendary loot. The scavenging skill will no doubt play a very similar role to the look skill from the Fallout series. Essentially, the higher your skill in scavenging, the more often you'll uncover rare items and accrue more credits when looting containers and enemies alike. There is still loads more info to show you for Starfield. The skill/perk tree alone warrants its own video, and that's exactly what I'll do if this video reaches 50 likes, which is quite a lot for this channel. Then I'll be sure to get that video out for you as soon as possible. In the meantime though, as we wait for Starfield to arrive, you could hit that subscribe button and help me get closer and closer to 1,300 subscribers, and I will be eternally grateful. And so keep an eye out on my skill/perk tree video where I'll be breaking down every single perk that they do give pretty much a quarter-second sneak peek to. I'll break it down frame by frame and we'll get as much info out of it as possible. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one.